I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is a review for Tion, the movie team, who via PayPal requested this movie called Chocolate, which I had never heard of, but it's a 2008 film starring Jeeja Yanin in her first role, I guess. And it was an interesting idea with some pretty good action sequences, fight scenes that somewhat similar to films of En Bach, The Protector. I think some of the same people involved with that worked on this. And first off, again, thank you, Tion, the movie team. If anyone's ever interested in requesting reviews, videos, re-reviews, movie topics, whatever type of videos, you'd either do it and request it via my PayPal directly or by part of my Patreon. You can join that if you wish. The links to both will be down below. If not, no worries. I might have missed, might be blatantly obvious, why it's called Chocolate. But the whole idea of the film is this lady, she was in love with this gangster, pretty much named Number 8. And while she was with him, this other guy she was in love with, and they fell in love and they fucked and all that, but the Thai gangster didn't like that and said, "You don't stay with me, bitch, or I'm gonna kick your ass, I'm gonna kill his ass." So then the lady goes, "You need to leave, just go back to where you belong, I gotta be here, tough titty." She has a daughter, gives birth. Of course, it's not Number 8's. It's the guy that was sent away, his baby. But when she gives birth, it's to a daughter who is autistic. And as she's autistic, as she grows, one thing leads to another. The mom moves her and her daughter to this area where right next door is a Muay Thai martial arts school. And pretty much by just watching and copying the movements, this little girl grows up to be autistic with the rocking, repeating of words. She's not really too aware of her surroundings. If there are flies, she's like doing that. I don't know anything about autism. Someone who's autistic, they'd be better determining whether this is over the top or par for the course in autism acting. Also, you'd be the better one to explain if this is more of the superpower autism that happens in certain movies, or maybe that is the case where people can copy movements just by watching so well that they're fighting like Tony Jaa. And in fact, she actually watches some Tony Jaa action movies. I want to say, I'm not sure if it's just En Bach or maybe bits of En Bach and The Protector. But definitely, she is a fan. And she's the type of individual that she can catch fruit without looking. And she has this friend who helps her be this street performer where people pay to watch how she's able to catch all this stuff without even looking. And I thought the lead actress, again, I don't know if someone who works with autism, if they watch this, they would be offended or think that's too over the top or too ridiculous or on point. I don't know. But I thought she did a good job, and it was an interesting idea that what take an autistic person, the character, but then also be a badass fighting machine. This is still more believable than anything in the fucking Predator, where a little kid learned an alien language. This is way more believable. This is a documentary compared to the Predator. But anyway, I talked about that. And there's some interesting stylistic choices. For example, there was one sequence where she had this dream that looked as if it was an animated, almost video game version of herself fighting some folks. It's definitely a movie that is inspired not just by Tony Jaa, but a little bit of Bruce Lee. I'll get to that. Just really the main thrust of the story is this autistic lady finds out that her mom has cancer. And she's going to chemotherapy. She needs money for it. And the mom doing her best to afford it. She barely can. The lead, I forget the character's name. Maybe the character's name, was the character's name Chocolate? I don't think so. That shows how little I remember the characters. That's the thing, this movie, sometimes I try to be a little bit melodramatic. I wouldn't say the characters are anything that memorable, mesmerizing antithesis of the martial arts realm of Bruce Lee, Tony Jaa, Jackie Chan, even Van Damme, early Steven Seagal. Something that I'm going to remember till days and days into the future. It's nothing groundbreaking or anything, but it was a fun, entertaining diversion. And what I was getting at is the lead, she finds this book, and it's a book that shows that there were some debts need to be paid to her and the family. So her and her buddy goes off, and it's a gradual progression of fight sequences. You know, it's a build-up in the first half of the film. I forget the lead character's name, so I'll just call her by her real name, Jeeja. Bruce Lee had to have been an influence because one of the first big action scenes is in an ice factory. And in fact, she's fighting, doing movements and sound effects like Bruce Lee. Where she does the rubbing of the nose with the thumb and what, like those kind of noises. And that was weird in the fact that I could have missed it. The only things I saw her watch was Tony Jaa stuff. I did not see any Bruce Lee footage. Now, maybe I missed it. Maybe it was one of those I was looking over here doing something and I missed it. So maybe that's my fault. If that's my fault, that's my fault. I just know that if they did it, it was only one time. And if they didn't do it, maybe they should have done it. What, maybe they couldn't get the rights to it? I don't know. But I just found funny that all I remember is watching Tony Jaa stuff, and the first real actions, big actions that she gets into, she's doing like Bruce Lee. You know, a lot of this and a lot of, you know, that type of. Another weird thing, just because I don't remember if they really explained it much, there's quite a few drag queens in this. Maybe that's part of the bad guy's business, but he employs a lot of drag queens. Okay. But she has this big fight. pretty good fighter. Part of me wondered if she was going a little bit slow, but she definitely, even though some of her movements seemed a little bit slow, she definitely made up for it for her agility, her flexibility, to be able to get those punches, mainly like elbows and knees, similar to Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa, I will admit, seemed he had the more snap and quickness and seemed a lot faster than this lady, but this lady did still a pretty damn good job. So you have an ice factory sequence. You have a sequence where I forget what the location was, but in this point she's using more props and not so much the Bruce Lee movements or sound effects or gestures, but there's a point where she flips and lands on a split and she's sliding under this glass case and kicks a guy and then makes him land on that damn glass case and using equipment that's around her, almost a little bit like Jackie Chan stuff. There's a later fight scene in a butcher shop. One thing I've never seen before, which was interesting, during this fight sequence in the butcher shop, there's a bunch of hooks. A guy tries to kick the lead and he fucked up and he hooks his foot on one of the hooks that you would hang the meat on, and then he starts hanging there by his foot. So stuff like that. And then the fact that the lead character is autistic, so she does have a tremendous amount of dialogue. The very few that she does is more repeated, like give me money, give me money, give me money. It definitely made it a bit more unique among the pack of various other martial arts films. Again, it's not, I can't say I'll remember this character years and years down the road, because like the story, other than that part, stuff you've seen before, help a family, help a loved one, then the third act, oh, they're taking someone I love, in this case her mom, I'm gonna go kick some ass. But I guess you ask yourself, what do you want in this kind of movie? You want a fast pace, and it went pretty decently. I never was bored too much. Not that I wasn't really that bored with it. Lead character, again, the autism angle made a little bit different. The actress, I thought for her first big role, did a more than serviceable job. The villains, forgettable. I mean, take or leave the bad guy. I can't really sit here and... For some reason he made me think he, look-wise, face-wise, he'd be a guy in the video game Final Fight. I don't know why. He just seemed like one of those punch, not get-up-wise, but face-wise, that Hagar or Cody would beat the shit out of. The fight scenes are well choreographed. They're not confusing. They're not terribly edited. In fact, they're very well choreographed. And the third act is definitely not disappointing. Whether she's fighting these two ladies and this other guy amongst these big pipes and even under the pipes, and using really good agility, similar to Tony Jaa, with elbows and knees, taking these people out. Then in this area that looks like a dojo, and just that classic, going back to Bruce Lee and various other movies where you have one person in a room, you have a bunch of guys, just kick them ass one by one by one by one. And even her dad, her real dad, comes by and helps her out a little bit. One thing I noticed about is there's a part where she's chasing the bad guy amongst these ledges on the side of the building, and then bad guys coming out of the woodwork or out of the windows. A lot of hard hitting, dangerous, ouch, holy shit That my nuts are now in my stomach falls in this. Not only are their heads going through the windows, but then landing hard on edges. Some of them landing like it's the... What the hell is that thing on Price is Right? Where you put the thing down and... I forget what the hell that's called. Pachinko? At the pachinkos? That's what I mean. A lot of these fucking guys seem as if they were one giant fucking pachinkos. I just really felt the pain of some of these guys, and definite kudos, praise go to the stunt people who worked on the movie. But yeah, if you like martial arts films, shows that females can be a lead. Since so many people say, well, that's never the case now. Females are never the leads. Then you're an idiot, and then I can name 100 movies, and you guys can name 100 movies. And here's another one. Even with autism, female, it's things that people sadly do look down on for some stupid reason. But yes, she's able to kick ass and take names. Again, my only issues... The villain, really nothing to run home about. The other characters, they weren't bad, but whether it be the lead character's buddy, that guy, or even her dad who shows up at the very beginning of the film and at the end of the film, the mom character, again, they're fine, but I can't really sit here and say there's anything remotely memorable or engaging or something that you're going to talk about after the movie's done. Your big takeaway are going to be the fight sequences and perhaps the lead actress, and both do their jobs well. And yeah, if you like martial arts and you want to see Tony Jaa type of fighting, again, not as quick, but still fairly good stuff, give Chocolate a watch. Yet again, I have no idea why the hell it's called Chocolate. I know I should have looked at this up before, but it's bugging the hell out of me, and I'm curious. I see something if I missed the... I know I should have done this before. I apologize. I mean, it's a 2008 film, and if it'll pop up... No? None of the characters are named Chocolate. Zen, and then her mother Zin, number 8. Yeah, I have no idea why the fuck this is called Chocolate. No idea. And I'm just curious as the director. I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah, he directed En Bach and The Protector. And sadly, The Protector 2. I mean, this is well better than The Protector 2. Which, yeah, that's why you have Tony Jaa movies referenced. This is the director of The Protector and En Bach. 2 of Tony Jaa's best movies. And I don't think this is as good as those, because those two definitely had a bit more of that speed, quick visceralness, where you really felt the bone crunch on each hit, and you really felt a little bit more awe in the stunts, although there's good stunts here. But like I said, it's definitely a lot better than The Protector 2. And this guy did that film, Elephant White, with Djimon Hounsou, Kevin Bacon. I remember that movie being really not much of anything. And that's the same director? That's strange. Oh, I'm going off tangent. But you like martial arts films and you want to see more stuff The director of The Protector, Nambak, didn't, I don't think as good as those two, but still decent flick. Yeah, check it out. Don't know why the fuck it's called Chocolate, but whatever. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.